Hi everyone, my name's Tori Ambrose, if you don't know my name yet, and I titled my presentation, My Life, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, because I've had some good moments in my life, I've obviously had some bad moments, and I definitely had a big portion of my life that I consider really ugly because I just was ugly. So, to start off my presentation, I have baby pictures. So, the picture to the far left, that's me on the first day I was born. And I would say that was a pretty awkward day for me because when my parents first saw me, they didn't think I was their kid because I had really red hair, and neither of my parents have red hair. So they asked the doctor, is there a slight mix-up? Are you sure this is our child? But turns out I was their child. But that was definitely an awkward moment in my life, so I would consider that maybe the bad. And then this picture of me in the middle, and I was kind of chubby, but my mom, I don't know, she always said that, fatter babies are the cuter babies. And then that's a picture of me in a cow suit, and I wore that cow suit pretty much for the first 3 years of my life. My parents just let me go out in public dressed up like a cow. So I think that's really awkward, but I guess my parents thought it was funny and it was a way to express myself. And also, it mooed. So I would press the stomach and it would moo. So when I met people, I mooed. So here's some more pictures, and that's a picture of me and my dad, and he didn't notice that my face was smashed up against the window. And I feel like that's an accurate depiction of me versus life, just me, life crashing into me. Let's picture me and my sister in the middle, and my sister despised me for the first 5 years of my life. I'm pretty sure she plotted my murder multiple times, but I'm here, so she ended up liking me. And then this is a picture of me in kindergarten because before my first day of kindergarten, I decided to give myself my own haircut. So for about kindergarten, first grade, second grade, my haircut was up to my ears. It was really embarrassing, and I was so chubby that I didn't have a neck. So all those pictures, I try not to look at them, but whatever. So I guess if you want to get to know me, you have to know my family. So in the middle, that's just a picture of me and my family. So my parents, my sister, and my dog. And then my parents, they're definitely a big part of my life. They never really pressured me into doing anything. They let me kind of be whoever I wanted. Obviously, they let me wear the cow suit. And I don't tell them enough that I appreciate them, but I definitely do. And then I put a picture of me and my sister up because she's definitely my best friend. Even I would never tell her that because she would just use it against me. But she's my role model, and I definitely look up to her because even though she hated me as a kid, she was always my role model, and I just wanted to be her. But she's definitely a big part of my life, and what she does with her life is kind of what I aspire to be because she's just so independent, and I look up to that. So I sort of skipped a big chunk of my life because it was just awkward and embarrassing, so I didn't want to put that in. And then I just decided to do my high school years because that's probably the years that I kind of found out who I was the most. So for freshman year, it was a big transition for me because I went to St. Gabe's since kindergarten. So I grew up with the same 50 people. I think I graduated with 40 people. So I didn't really know how to make friends because I had the same friends for 9 years. So it was really scary, but I think the biggest part of my freshman year was doing cheerleading, and that's a picture of me and my sister my freshman year of cheerleading because that's pretty much where I met my first friends and the people that I was actually would consider the closest people I was through high school because I stuck with them all 4 years and they were always kind of there. And my freshman year nothing really happened, but I did get a lot of new experiences because I met a lot of people and I got to go to the formal, which I never got, and then obviously cheer was a big thing for me. Then sophomore year was probably the most boring year out of my high school career. Nothing really happened, but I did have like a solid group of friends. And I still cheered, but other than that, it was pretty boring. Besides, I went to New York. This is probably one of my favorite memories from sophomore year, because I went with my friend and we went to see a Broadway musical, and we were actually like in the musical, like we got to go up on stage, and that was pretty cool. And then that's Sal from Impractical Jokers, if you don't know, and I got to meet him, so that was probably one of the cooler moments of my life. And then junior year, this was probably my favorite year, but it was kind of the worst year at the same time. So this was my first year as a varsity cheerleader, so it was definitely a lot different because at freshman games and JV games, nothing really happens, they're kind of boring. So being out on Fridays in front of everyone was a big step, but I actually ended up getting a really bad concussion, and I was like out for like 5 months, and I kind of lost track at school. It was really hard for me to keep up with school, and I missed a lot of school because I was constantly at the doctor's. But the good thing that kind of came out of my concussion was I got to do an ad campaign for UPMC, and that's, you can't really see it, but this is it. And it's for concussion awareness, and I got to, like, it was like a photo shoot, and the ad's kind of like in random places, like it's in this newspaper, and it's like online sometimes. So even though my concussion, I hated every second of it, I guess it was kind of cool that I got to do that. And also my junior year was kind of hard because I took the hardest classes that I've ever taken, and it was a lot. And I also got my first job, and I absolutely hated my first job. I worked at a nursing home, and every day I walked in there, a little piece of me died. I just hated it so much. But it definitely taught me a lot of responsibility, and I got a lot out of it. So now for my senior year, probably the biggest year for me, but I wouldn't say it was my favorite. So these are pictures from cheerleading because it's my last year. That's a picture of me and my team, the seniors, and then my little sisters who made the year special for me. Even though I did cheerleading all 4 years of high school, I hated it. My coach would always yell at me because I just didn't want to be out there, and it was pretty noticeable. And I was also a really bad cheerleader. I could not remember any of the cheers. So we would be at a game, and they would call a cheer, and I'd be in my own world, and I would just stand there. And all I can remember every game was my coach yelling at me because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. And even though I didn't like the cheerleading aspect of it, I did like the people that I was with. And I got good memories out of it, just wasn't my favorite portion of high school. Now, this part makes me sad. But my preschoolers, Dr. Harrod, you can cut this out, because it was their last day yesterday. They're my best friends. But that's my preschool class, and that's my little boy, and my little girl. And they pretty much made my senior year. Dr. Harrod, let's just cut this whole portion out. But they made my day. Every day I would go in there, and even though they looked at me like I was teaching them, they were definitely teaching me. And just the things they would say, just so random, and they meant so much to me, and I don't know what I'm going to do without them, but I know that they'll grow up and do good things, and I don't know if I'm sad about them graduating, or I'm sad about me graduating, but this was definitely my favorite part of senior year. So just some other random things about my senior year is I got my first car, and I just got my license this year because I waited a really long time. But I got my first car, and then I ended up crashing it twice. So I got it taken away from me, but eventually I got it back, and I treat it a lot better now. I'm definitely a lot more careful after that. And I've kind of traveled a lot this year. My parents have just been random, and they're just like, let's just go away for a weekend. So that's actually a picture from like a couple weeks ago. I went to Maryland just for fun. Well, we had a wedding, but we stayed there longer. And it definitely showed me that I don't want to stay here forever. I kind of want to get out and see what's out there. I like Pittsburgh, but I'm ready to explore the world. And then that picture over there of those two little kids is I quit my job at the nursing home because I just didn't like it, and I found a job that I liked, and I babysit those two little kids. I'm like their nanny, and they're seriously like my children now. I love them to pieces, and I look forward to seeing them all the time. I'm just glad that I got the experience of having that as a job my senior year. So now that senior year is coming to a close, I had to figure out what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, and I didn't figure it out until summer going into this year, and I decided to be a nurse, and I'm going to Carlow University, and I'm in their honors program. So it's going to be a pretty rigorous next 4 years with everything because my college classes are pretty much already scheduled up until my senior year. I already know exactly what I have to take, and it's going to be a lot, but I'm really excited because I like taking care of people, and I feel like nursing gives you an experience to meet a bunch of people and help them and impact them in some way. So I'm glad that that's what I get to do with my life. So overall, I think I've had some good times, some bad times, but I'm ready to kind of move on with my life and just be happy. That's all.